one more time. I remember practicing in the guest room, delivering a sermon for church. And my boy walked into the room and he said, "Papa, why are you practicing?" I said, "Son, I always practice." He said, "I didn't know you practiced when it was for church." I said, "Why?" He said, "Church is free." He's a little capitalistic kid born in Denton County, Texas. What do you expect? So I said, "Boy, you make an interesting point. The day you practice for something you're not paid to do is the beginning of the journey that will take you to the place where they pay you for what you've practiced." Identify the goal, list the benefits, isolate the obstacles. Then identify the skills and knowledge required. If you're at point A and you want to be at point B, learn what is required at point B while still at point A. As a young kid lying on a nondescript beach in a remote southern Indian town, I looked up at the heavens above and made a decision that I wanted to live in America. I was all of 8. And my father said, "If that's where you want to live, I want you to start learning American history now. Because when you get there, not if, when you get there, I want you to hit the ground running." And I started learning American history. As part of course curriculum, I already had Indian history and European history, and I became a history buff. But as I practiced and prepared and learned the speeches and the renditions and the whole psychological and sociological experiment that is this here country, I became enamored with the whole process. And I remember landing in the United States and going through my citizenship process in early '91. I'm sitting opposite the lady at the Earl Cabell Federal Building in Dallas, Texas, who's administering the final part of my citizenship process. She's African American. She said, "What happened in 1862? Now, I'd been preparing for 20 years and I was ready to put a verbal dump on somebody. Gently, she cautioned me. She flipped the page over and said, "Oh no, honey, in America, it's multiple choice." And I knew I was going to make it. It is multiple choice. What do you choose? Identify the skills and knowledge required. When you're at point A, learn what is required at point B while still at point A. When you get to point B, if you get to use the information, que sera, sera. If you don't get to use the information, Rick Warren calls that having lived a purpose-driven life. Identify the influencers and the organizations that can help you. The good book said a long time ago, "Let the weak say, I am strong." John Maxwell calls this the power of the inner circle. Don't let every Tom, Dick, and Harry come into your life and steal your dream. In your life, you will encounter 3 different kinds of people. One are the neutralizers. They don't add, they don't delete, they're just there. Then there are the detractors. These people suck the living joy out of everything you do. And then there are the enhancers. We're afraid of the enhancers because they're going to challenge us. They're going to ask you to make some changes and some adjustments. And those changes and those adjustments are going to be complicated and they're going to be unnerving. But you have to make them. Because there's only one time in your life where everybody's going to say nice things about you. You're flat off your back looking up. The pastor looking down saying, "You the man. Right now you the dead man, but you the man." At that point in your life, you can make one of only 2 statements. "I wish I had," or "I'm glad I did." Identify the skills and knowledge required and then locate the influencers and the organizations that can help you. Get them involved in your life and remarkable things will start happening. Then look at your plan of action. And your plan of action is nothing more than looking at your obstacles and writing a first-person present tense overcoming statement for each of those obstacles. If my obstacles were language, enunciation, pronunciation, I joined a Toastmasters club in Dallas, Texas.